वो तेरी भाई ये क्या जमीन में जा रहा है? वो तेरी वो भाई साहब।
A man who was in the hospital and was heading to the bathroom got a big scare when he saw a strange apparition over a residential development that he observed from his room's window. Watch this. In the recording, we can clearly see the apparition of a woman with long hair and dressed in white over a residential area. It's suspected to be a kuntilanak, which remains motionless. The man, seeing it from afar, immediately feels intense chills. The video shows a woman who is collecting flowers at dawn to sell them in the market in the morning. However, watch carefully. There's something strange in this video, recorded by the camera. You can see an apparition of a figure dressed in white in a dark place behind the woman. That mysterious figure seems to walk floating. However, her presence is not noticed by the woman or by whoever recorded the video, due to the darkness of the place. This video is really disturbing. Pay attention. As we've already seen, there's an apparition of a female figure with a very pale face that they don't recognize, who is snuck in among them. That figure that looks terrifying stares directly at the camera, which makes everyone feel chills and immediate panic. The video shows a kuntilanak in a tree and a pokong in the bushes. This apparition of two figures that look terrifying was recorded by a man who was doing a live stream in a cemetery. A strange apparition on the street was captured by a CCTV camera from a neighboring house. The two domestic dogs of the residents, upon seeing it, immediately began barking toward the mysterious apparition. Watch this. In the recording, you'd see an apparition that shows only a pair of feet walking. In contrast, the body, arms and head are not visible or present. The two dogs, upon seeing this strange apparition, began barking at it non-stop.
Neng buka badai ke mana?
Where can you open the door? A teenage girl at night playfully recorded the scenery of stars that she thought was very beautiful to show to her cousin. However, she didn't expect that instead she would be frightened by a strange apparition as follows. Please observe, Sita. Do you know?
Sita, tahu nggak? Aku mau kasih lihat bintang. Bintangnya bagus banget tahu. Mana ya bintangnya ya? Astagfirullahaladzim. Bintangnya ya. Astagfirullahaladzim.
I want to show you the stars. The stars are really beautiful. You know, where are the stars? Astaghfirullahalazim. The stars, Astaghfirullahalazim. As we could see, there is an apparition of a figure dressed in white with long flowing hair that was floating near the tree. The figure that is presumed to be a Kontilanak was observing the woman who was recording this, and she who immediately realized the presence of that figure was instantly shocked and terrified. A resident saw a strange apparition that was at the edge of the road and then immediately recorded it. Please observe. If there's someone placed there, they're floating. This young lady, I don't know where she's going. Like that. Very clearly recorded was the apparition that resembled a woman with long hair and dressed in white.
Dili aya nu wau ditaros teh malah hulang-hulang ieu si Neng duka bade ka mana. Posisina di walet. Disampeurkeun teh bade ka mana Neng? Teu nembalan malah hulang-hulang we. Sapala laur kieu.
Who was sitting quietly in a tree that was located at the edge of the highway. Her face looked very white and terrifying, and her gaze was directed toward the resident who was recording her. She's nearby. Where are you going, miss? She doesn't respond, just floats like that.
Disampeurkeun teh bade ka mana Neng? Teu nembalan malah hulang-hulang we. Sapala laur kieu.
A woman gathered courage to check strange sounds that came from inside a dry well behind her house at midnight, and observe what terrifying thing she found there. Did you hear that? It's heard down there.
¿Escucharon? ¿Escucharon eso? ¿Qué? Se oye allá abajo. ¿Hola?
Hello. No. Recorded on camera was an apparition of a strange figure with a black body and white eyes inside that well. The figure that looked terrifying then looked toward the woman, which made her instantly frightened and run seriously terrified, even crying hello. Someone intentionally installed a camera inside the forest and observed what terrifying thing that camera recorded. Very clearly recorded was a Pokong that suddenly appeared and then jumped, approaching the camera. As if aware that it was being recorded, the Pokong showed its terrifying face right in front of the camera. This apparition of a strange and terrifying figure was recorded by the camera of a ghost hunter who dared to livestream alone inside the forest. Please observe. As we could see, that figure has a very terrifying form and face. Sitting quietly kneeling right in front of that man. Surprisingly, the man could still remain calm, not panic, as if he didn't feel afraid at all. The video shows several residents and some small children who were experiencing fear. It turns out that night they claimed to see an apparition that looked like a kuntilanak in a tree. Observe carefully the video that was recorded by one of the residents. In that video, the form of the apparition they believe to be a kuntilanak is not seen very clearly due to the extreme darkness, and moreover, it was very far up in the trees. However, according to the testimony of those who were at the location, indeed, at that time they saw a figure that had the form of a kuntilanak in the tree. Go in. The CCTV camera installed in this kitchen recorded an incident experienced by a woman, the owner of the house. Please observe. Very clearly recorded. Something suddenly pulled that woman's hair very strongly until it made her fall to the floor immediately. The woman, who realized there was no one else there besides herself, was instantly very shocked and terrified. The CCTV camera installed in front of a shop recorded a strange incident experienced by a man who appeared to be sitting relaxed. Observe carefully the following video. Seconds of CCTV motion sensor detecting an invisible creature. Turning on the ignition key of the motorcycle. As we have already seen, the CCTV sensor detected something that made it move and rotate. Then, a few seconds later, that man's motorcycle suddenly turned on by itself, which made the man startled, and then turn off his motorcycle engine again. Realizing that something strange was happening, the man then asked the shop owner to replay the CCTV recording.
makan ya.
A woman recorded her pet dog that was behaving very strangely. Please observe. Very clearly recorded. The dog appeared as if something was pulling and tugging its body until it made its body spin around. Seeing the strangeness right in front of her, this woman was instantly silent with fear, unable to do anything but record it. A strange incident was recorded on CCTV installed in an office basement at 12 o'clock midnight, which showed a man behaving very strangely, jumping around, allegedly possessed by a pokong that was chasing a man. Please observe. As we could see, that man was jumping around in the basement courtyard chasing his office colleague who was going home. After being in the corner of the basement, he then stopped and just stood still like a statue, according to the assumptions of witnesses who saw directly and watched the replay on the CCTV recording. The man, who was known to work as an office boy, was indeed experiencing a phenomenon of possession, namely possession by a pogong spirit. What do you think? Please write in the comments section. A man who was working the night shift at a paper factory was startled and got goosebumps when he saw the following apparition. Please observe. Right behind that pile of white-colored papers there was an apparition that at first glance looked like a pokong observing that man. Perhaps because he was used to seeing such apparitions at his workplace, the man didn't feel afraid at all.
Tinggi, putih, gede banget sih, bangsat emang babi lu. Gue samperin juga lu monyet. Kira gue tahu.
A man was surprised and frightened when he saw a video that was recorded by his own child, which showed an apparition in the form of a pokong in their house yard. Observe carefully the following video. There was an apparition of a figure dressed in white with a black face peeking from the window. Then, not long after, the figure that was suspected to be a pokong suddenly flew up. This made his child, who was recording, startled and then turned off the recording.
Mira. Kau tengok benda putih tu. Mana? Tu dapat tu. Tingkat luar tu. Tingkat mana? Tahu tu. Wongnya. Tu dapat tu.
Man and several family members who were vacationing at this beach were playfully recording to capture the moment of their family members who were eating food in a hut near the beach. However, please observe that there was an apparition that he didn't realize. Very clearly recorded, there was an apparition of a woman dressed in white with long flowing hair who was sitting quietly beside that hut. The figure that was suspected to be a Kontilanak had a pale white face, and not a single person, including the recorder, realized its presence.
Makan nih ya. Makan. Kok makan kok. Beteng. Makan ya. Makan ya.
Makan ya. Makan ya.
A hiker who was coming down from the mountain at Maghreb time saw an apparition of a mysterious woman wearing a white dress standing beside the hiking trail. Feeling that this was very strange and unusual, he ignored that figure but managed to record it. Please observe. Clearly recorded on camera, that mysterious woman figure in a white dress initially just stood still among the trees near the hiking trail. Then, not long after, that strange woman figure walked behind that man following him down. However, he acted as if he didn't see anything and continued his journey. Daring to live stream alone in the forest on the night of 1 Suro, this brave man was surprised by the appearance of a pocong with a black and terrifying face.
Ya Allah, bibirnya tebal guys. Bibirnya tebal sekali guys. Allahu Akbar. Bibirnya tebal guys.
A CCTV camera, installed facing this shophouse yard, recorded an apparition of a strange figure as follows. Please observe. As we could see, there was a shadow of a mysterious figure dressed in white walking beside that shophouse. The apparition that at first glance looked like a woman then stood beside the cart and then shortly disappeared. The video shows several people who were in a car traveling. Realizing that the road they were passing was very horrifying, dark and deserted, they instead laughed loudly to eliminate their fear. And then this is what happened. Please observe. Very clearly.
Beli bangun di sana. Nyo tengah bilah kencet serem mah. Kino jauh saya bunuh.
Ya Allah.
Recorded, there was an apparition of a woman with long flowing hair and dressed in white who was sitting quietly on a tree on the left side of the road. Those who realized the presence of the figure that was suspected to be a kuntilanak were instantly very shocked and frightened and then turned off the recording. Company's CCTV camera recorded a strange incident involving a woman who was walking on the highway right in front of that company. Please observe. Very clearly recorded.
Ini perempuan yang ada jalan ini dari bengkel. Ini security ada suruh orang lihat dari CCTV buka jam 2 lewat. Nah, ini perempuan kan lihat. Dia bahagia di sebelah. hilang.
The woman who was walking suddenly disappeared just like that. The security, an officer who realized the strangeness, immediately replayed the CCTV recording to make sure, and it turned out that indeed the woman figure disappeared suddenly.